not because the storm surge is going to come all the way here, but what it's going to do is push water up Vermilion Bay and then right up the Vermilion River. And that's going to be a major problem when it comes to the flooding from the river. We're also talking about the concern for intense amounts of rain coming down on already mostly saturated soil. Another flooding concern. So earlier tonight, we talked to Monique Boulay. She is the mayor-president of the city of Lafayette and also the parish of Lafayette, about the concern of flooding, about the concern for potential evacuations, what people need to pay attention to. Listen to her right now.
There is not a mandatory evacuation, but we are asking people to consider evacuating. If you have a family member or someplace where you can go, where you can take your family to be safe, especially if you have people who have medical needs, we're asking you to consider evacuating. We will reach a point in time on Wednesday where it's too late to leave town. And so if you're going to stay, you need to think about, can you be without electricity for a few days? Can you maybe not be able to drive around? Because we are expecting lots of trees to come down with the wind. If we have anything like the wind we had in May, which more than likely this will be stronger than that, we will have big trees come down, and so it will hold the community still for a little while. So if you're going to stay, be prepared for that, be ready for that, and if you can go, I suggest you do go.
And that's a really good reminder. If you can go, you should go. Remember, let's say you find yourself after the storm has already started in earnest and you think to yourself, wait a second, we should have evacuated. Well, what that does is not only put you and your family at risk, but also the lives of first responders who at that point may not be able to come and get you. And if they can come and get you, they're putting their lives at risk as well. So just really weigh the decision to evacuate very carefully with your family and with your friends, and try to make a really good decision. As far as the floodwaters are concerned, it's also very important to remember what can be in floodwater. It's the things that are living and the things that are not. Let's talk about the not first. Fuels, chemicals, carcasses, sewage, all of that is in floodwater. And then here, along these bayous, we have things like alligators. And we also have things like poisonous snakes, all things that you do not want to spend time around. And if you go into floodwater, it is certainly possible that you're going to be near all of that. So remember that if you're considering wading through or driving through floodwaters, what is in that water. Looking at Lafayette, over the next several days, schools are closed. We know that the messaging is going to really ramp up from the emergency responders. Something that Mayor-President Boulay told us earlier tonight is she's really concerned that people are not taking the storm seriously enough, Chris. So they're really working on the messaging to remind people that the storm that's coming this way, even though it has a long way to go, is likely going to be quite impactful. And she really was concerned, I can hear the concern in her voice, Chris, that people are not prepared. And they're working hard to make sure that messaging gets out so they get prepared. Chris, into you.
I appreciate the update. Justin Michaels from Lafayette, Louisiana. We are live tonight until midnight Central, 1 a.m. Eastern, tracking the latest here with Tropical Storm Francine. Meteorologist Chris Bruin alongside storm specialist Carl Parker. And Carl, you know, Friday we had an area to watch. People coming.
That's why they're filming live.
Tropical storm forecasted to be a pretty strong Cat 1, possibly Cat 2 hurricane in less than 2 days from now. And even though the forward speed right now is relatively slow and it's only a tropical storm, a lot can change in 24 hours.
It's going to be accelerating and it's going to be moving in most likely around the middle of the day on Wednesday.
But they're done.
Really starting to go downhill on Wednesday morning there along the Louisiana coast. And yeah, a lot of times these weaker systems can be very sneaky. It can get right into your backyard before they really begin to develop. So right now it's 65-mile-per-hour storm moving to the northwest at 7 miles per hour, and it's going to be moving off to the north and eventually more towards the northeast here. There is the forecast track and intensities from the Hurricane Center.